Welcome back to the Chicago Tomahawk. I'm Mike, and I got my line mate Matt with me. And today we're going to go over the Blackhawks week one. It's been great, getting some regular season hockey back. There's been so much talk about Connor Bedard and finally getting this kid going. It's been actually a pretty action-packed first week for the NHL in general. The Blackhawks game versus Pittsburgh was one of the most watched regular season games in history. And I thought that it was a good game. Bedard got to face off against Sidney Crosby. Right as he was getting ready to take the face off, the ref told him, "Hey, Sid, welcome back. Connor, welcome to the NHL." I thought that was really, really cool to see. He's like, "Thank you."
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
And it was a good game, man. Hawks won that game 4-2, much to everybody's surprise. I mean, I thought that it was a good game back and forth between the two. Matt, Mrazek was really good in that game, man. How did you think between the goaltending, defense, and offense, how it stood up?
Well, from last year, we played the Avs, the defending champs, and they just smoked the Hawks in. It looked bad. This year, we skated a full 60 minutes.
Right.
And that's all you can ask for. We're still a ways away. I think we're a 500 team, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. But if they compete like this every night, have a chance to win, it's going to be entertaining hockey. And I thought Mrazek, man, he was solid. I don't know if that first game you're extra amped up, ready to go. Man, but he was really good. I thought he was probably the MVP of the game.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. He just seemed to be really locked in. And then I saw them, they gave Tristan Jarry an extended contract, and I was like, that kind of makes me, raising question marks on why the Penguins would put so much time into him. What do you think?
I think he's a good goalie, and I think they've been kind of, having some bad luck lately. They let Fleury go. They didn't think he was the guy anymore, and Matt Murray was the guy. And Matt Murray wins 2 Stanley Cups back to back, and then the next year he's not so good, and then they move him, and kind of been shuffling around. And Jarry was the next guy up, but I think he's a good goalie. I think he'll be the guy in net for a while for them.
If you really think about it, man, that's really kind of crazy how their goalie situation has played out, because it seems like right after they moved Fleury, things just went, like the shit just hit the fan.
It went up a little bit. They thought Matt Murray, back-to-back cups, the teams were very, very good in front of him. But yeah, it's weird that poor Matt Murray, they move him to Ottawa, he's terrible. They move him to Toronto, he's terrible. And it's weird. I think Jarry and Casey DeSmith is the other goalie they have. And last year they didn't make the playoffs, and that team's getting old. I saw a meme of their team. It says the Penguins warming up. It was a bunch of old women, and I'm just like, oh man. But it's true. Sid's still amazing. He scored a really nice goal against the Hawks, and I think Sid's going to get 100 points still this year. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
I just, the defense, he got Letang, I thought Letang was kind of playing like a dick against the Hawks. He was kind of going after Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson's not a big guy, and Tyler Johnson just smiling at him. He
doesn't back down.
No, he doesn't back down at all. I love that. But, you got Carlson, obviously. I saw him get absolutely train wrecked the other day from Ovi. Open ice hit. Carlson's trying to skate the puck up the middle like he's going to skate it in and do his thing, and Ovi said no, and he just went down. And I don't know, man, about the Penguins. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I think they got to really start investing in getting younger, because they're going to run into what we've been experiencing the last 2 years,
Yeah,
guys are going to start retiring, getting moved, and got to rebuild and find your next piece to build around. And
it's not pretty.
It takes a while.
Yeah, it's not pretty, that rebuilding. So back to the Blackhawks in that first game. Dickinson, Donato, Gutman, and Foligno recorded goals. that Foligno goal, he got set up. I think what was that from Corey Perry?
Yeah.
So that was pretty nice. Pretty nice to see. Bedard got his first point in that game, so it went our way, that one. Second game versus the Bruins, Hawks dropped that one 3-1, but it was a lot closer than the score says, because that last goal was an empty netter. It was really 2-1, but the Hawks competed all three periods. The Bruins are coming off of a season where they were the best regular season team in history. They got a new captain now in Brad Marchand because Bergeron retired, and but they looked strong out there, man. And the Blackhawks were skating with them. They were all over Bedard, but Bedard was, trying to do his thing. It's game 2, so I'm not sure what people expect out of him, but he's putting a solid effort in that, out there, game in, game out. He doesn't like to lose. One thing I have noticed about Bedard, man, is that he's making some really nice passes to people, some really, really smooth passes, drawing defense to him and then dropping it off to someone. They've been really nice. Soderblom was in game 2. I thought he looked really solid in game 2. The Blackhawks goaltending has been, I was a little kind of shaken with Mrazek and Soderblom, because I know this is Soderblom's going to be his first full season as an NHL backup. But they've been strong, man. What did you think of Soderblom in that second game?
Very decent, yeah. And you're going against a team that was the best NHL team ever.
Right.
In the season wins. They got 2 very good goalies, and like you said, Mrazek was a monster game 1, and Soderblom, this is going to be his first year as a pro, and he was very good against that team. That's not easy to go against a team like that.
Not the Bruins, at least.
The Hawks have a very tough schedule the first couple of games. You see, last night was against the Habs. That was probably the most evenly matched, between the two. But the other two teams, realistically, they could have smoked the Hawks, and the Hawks they skated well 60 minutes. So, I think the goaltending has been a big surprise.
Yeah, I've been, between the 3 teams that they've played, between Pittsburgh, Boston, and the Habs so far. The Habs are, they're closer. They're a rebuilding team. They're a team that's looking to, add some pieces and grow. They got Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki leading the youth there. This is going to be, I think, season 3 with that tandem. And they look good, man. They look like a good team. They got Kirby Dach on the second line there. I believe he was playing second line center, but
he was a Hawk again for a second.
He was a Hawk again for a little bit, because Jared Tenorti put him into the Hawks bench, and Kirby Dach did not see any more ice time after that. He's where he's most comfortable on the IR, and the Blackhawks ended up losing that game as well. But they were both two teams. They looked evenly matched, and the Hawks almost tied it up at the end there. Matt,
off the post.
Yeah. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this Cole Gutman line number 3. It seems to be somewhat of a checking / not checking, but more of like a defensive /
like a grinding
line 2 type of line. They seem to be checking, but then on the other hand, man, these guys are looking to score points too. So these guys, they're not just staying one end and going to the bench, and opening it up for line 1 or line 2. Gutman has made some very nice passes. I'm glad to see this kid made the team. He was having a good year last year before he got injured. I believe it was a shoulder injury, but he's looked pretty solid so far on that line 3. What do you think, Matt?
Well, yeah, Gutman was the reason I think we won the game against Pittsburgh. He had a big clutch goal at the end and kind of stunned the Penguins. Like, wow, this team just came back on us. I think we scored 4 unanswered, if I'm not mistaken. And Gutman got the go-ahead goal, I believe, and that was huge, man. And I think he is actually a Marist alumni too, so he's from this area, which is really cool. We got 2 Chicago local kids, Vlasic, who's been a surprise for me on the back end. This guy was throwing down some great hits yesterday too. And it's nice to have some bigger guys. Like, over the years, I don't think we've had too many big guys. I think John Scott might have been the last big, tall dude we have. We got some massive guys that throw the body around, and it's fun to see. And last night against the Habs, it was a very physical game. And, I mean, I thought the officiating was kind of weak, too. There was, I think Vlasic actually got a penalty. He lost a stick.
Oh, right.
And he was hitting the guy. It was a clean. And Darren Panger was even saying, like, hey, he's got the puck. He's hitting him. You know, it's not his fault. He's just a monster, and the other guy's small.
Yeah.
And I think it was Caulfield actually getting hit.
Yeah, and it caused a scrum because it was Caulfield.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And I thought the Tenorti hit on Doc was absolutely 100% clean. Yeah. I know there was a lot of reports saying, oh, that was a headhunting hit on Doc. And I like to just call it the karma train. But
if it was a headhunting hit, man, he would have left his feet and went straight for his head. And he didn't do that. He went straight towards that logo in the middle of his chest. And it didn't seem like a headhunting hit at all.
No, I don't. I think it was. I mean, I saw two guys go into a bench yesterday. I think Detroit, Mason Raymond hit a guy, a Tampa Bay Lightning player. Not sure who it was. Into the bench.
Yeah, I saw that. They had the
over.
Yeah, they showed him just with his skates up.
Like that looked bad.
Yeah,
I mean that his skates were up. This guy his head must have hit the bench they were sitting on. But that looked bad. Doc's didn't look that bad. That's why I'm surprised he's injured. And
it was his leg. I think because when he hit, his leg like slid along the bench there.
Okay.
Like the shelf there.
I know I'm not saying Doc's like Mark Stone who would get hurt by sneezing, but I mean, I was surprised that he was hurt. The poor kid, he does get hurt. Sometimes it's like, God, can this kid catch a break ever? And
yeah,
I mean, I never wanted to see the kid get hurt, and obviously it didn't work out with the Hawks, and I think the Hawks did the kid a favor. I mean, they put him on a better situation. I mean, I thought it was a dead end here for him, and we were able to get a pick that we wanted and a prospect drafted. I believe it was Nazar, and hopefully it works out for us and everything. But still, I mean, I go back to that game where Doc scored that goal in the shootout, and dude, it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, you act like you're freaking Connor McDavid scoring a goal, mocking the crowd. Like, I hated that, honestly. I mean, it's very entertaining. It's fun, but I mean, come on. It's like, if you're on the Blackhawks and you see that, it's like, dude, who the frick do you think you are? You're at my barn right now, and you're going to taunt my fans like that? I'm going to remember that. And maybe Tenorti did, and obviously, you don't want to see the kid get hurt, but I thought the hit was great, and it was kind of like that's what you get type of hit. Like, you're going to run your mouth and act like you're Patrick Kane and Austin Matthews, you know? But yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to see the kid get hurt. I'd like to see him succeed. I just don't think. I think he's overhyped a little bit in Montreal. They think like he's going to be some kind of superstar, and it's like, are you guys forgetting you have Cole Caulfield? This kid's going to score 40. The kid's amazing. He's like an Alex DeBrincat. They got great releases, and they're just studs. And it's like, why are you investing so much time in letting the Blackhawks know that they screwed up getting rid of Kirby Dach? Because every time he scores a goal, that's what Habs fans do.
Oh, yeah.
It's
they
so
do.
Obnoxious. And I honestly thought the Ranger fans were obnoxious. They're nothing compared to the Habs fans. Those dudes are insane.
It's funny. I think that Kirby Dach can be a good player. But I would think after all these years, he'd be working on his face-offs, man, and he's just dreadful at the dot. I had somebody mentioning to me that they were like, "Hey, he's doing better," and it's like every time that I see, a lot of times when I see him, he's on the wing, and then he ends up playing center.
I think I've never. You only see him go north and south. Like, he's never really creative. Like Bedard. This kid will skate. He'll cut over real quick. He'll go and out. Like, he's really all over the place, and that's what I like. Kirby's kind of, I don't even know what you call him. Is he like a power forward, or like, what is he? He's not a sniper, maybe a playmaker, but
I would say maybe a playmaker.
The Hawks absolutely 100% screwed him up. They threw him in the fire too early, and it didn't work out for him. Yes, they have to take some of the blame, but Kirby's got to take a little blame too. I mean, he wasn't putting up the numbers, and in the end, that's what happens. You get moved if it's not working out, and obviously, they found a team that wants him, and I mean, they paid him pretty good money for not so good numbers. I believe
what did he get?
$4.5 million or something.
Let me look up his contract. I'm not sure.
I mean, he's in the same draft class as Jack Hughes, Capo Caco, and I think Doc was third.
Yeah, and that's what messes him up because they took him third.
It's like I was really hoping for a lot from this kid. I think a lot of Hawks fans were, and it's just sometimes it just doesn't work out. Adam Bodquist was another guy, didn't work. Yeah. So I mean, people could say like, "Oh, we're bitter." Oh, no, we're not bitter, but
not
like,
at all.
Don't.
Thank you.
I mean, when you score a shootout goal that doesn't even count towards your stats, don't be a dick about it, and start doing the Patrick Kane, Austin Matthews. How do you like me now? Really, dude? Yeah, sure. 100 fans were probably booing you. That they're probably hammered. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
He signed a 4-year, $13.4 million deal. So it's like a 4.1 per year, that's good.
Pretty generous.
Yeah, that's good money for him, especially considering that Zegers got, 5.75.
And Zegers has better numbers in one season than he does in 4 years.
Oh yeah, I would have said. Zegers could easily say, if he's making 4, I should be making 6.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like you start overpaying these guys that haven't done anything.
It's a snowball effect because the guys who
are going to see that, and agents are going to lick their lips like, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, man, that's funny, man. Do you think that, we know we're talking about Kirby Doc. I was watching the Michigan game last week with Jason Ross Jr. was announcing it. He's doing an absolute great job, man. He was really great with the players' names. And I was watching Frank Nazar, and Frank Nazar, man, he was laying down some hits. He's got speed. He had some good shots. And they were talking about him because this is his first full season. He was injured at the beginning of last season, so this is really kind of like his first full year there. And he looked pretty good, man. Have you had an opportunity to see him play at all yet?
I've seen some highlights from him, and I've been seeing a lot of reports on him, like getting multi-goal games. Even Oliver Moore, I think I've been seeing. They're on the same team, right? Or am I thinking of Minnesota? But Oliver Moore's getting a lot of press too, which is good. We got a lot of prospects coming up that are just going to be studs, man. And for people to say we screwed up on Kirby Doc, like, yeah, sure, but we don't know what Frank's going to be. And so far in college, this kid seems to be like ripping it up. And I know he was out last year. He came back, and I think he scored his first game back. So the kid's got a great personality, I'm told, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you need some character in that locker room, and I think Connor is going to have to hold down the fort this season with Lucas Reichel being the young guys, but I think these young guys are going to be coming in the next couple of years.
Yeah, Oliver Moore, he's playing for the University of Minnesota.
Okay, and Frank is Michigan, so okay.
Right.
Yeah, all these M's everywhere. So. No, but that's good. But I know I've been hearing Oliver Moore has been playing very well too, and maybe next year we'll get to see him come up.
Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can watch a University of Michigan Minnesota game and on the Big Ten Network, because they have a lot of stuff. They have a special. My daughter likes to watch volleyball, so I got the Big Plus membership. It's like $14, and I'm going to check out some hockey on there because they've been having some hockey on there.
Jason Ross Jr., man, he's a beauty.
He is, man.
He calls a great game.
He calls a really good game. He knows what he's talking about, and it's really a shame.
Yeah.
So
I wish they could have worked something out with him because he's great.
He is. Maybe they could do something down the road. I really like that. So in the first 3 games so far, man, is there anything that has stood out to you that has surprised you?
I think we kind of went over it, but the goaltending in the first 3 games has been very good. I don't know if I've seen any softies. There's been some guys calling goals softies, but then you kind of look at it. It's like, nah, dude, somebody missed an assignment. Yesterday, I think the Hawks beat themselves more than the Habs beat the Hawks. I think the power play was pretty bad. They're forcing that pass over, and it wasn't there. And one thing I noticed yesterday too was Seth Jones he took a lot of shots yesterday, which is good. You want to see that, but you don't want him shooting the puck. You got to find a way to get counter the puck. The kid's a sniper. I mean, even somebody, Tyler Johnson's been shooting very well too. I'd like to see that change up a little bit. Maybe move the puck, try to move the puck a little bit more at the points, just to try to get some open lanes. But they're trying to go for that backdoor play like the Hawks have been doing for freaking centuries. It seems like you got DeBrincat, either like the trigger man or Sharpie, but sometimes it just doesn't work against these teams. I like to see him kind of shuffle it up a little bit and switch it up. But another surprise probably is Ryan Donato. I think this guy's a stud. I think he's very skillful. He's gritty. He scored a nice goal in that first game. Bedard got the secondary assist on it, but he was at the net, made a nice move and buried it. I was
shot.
really surprised Seattle let him go, because I thought he had a good season with them last year. But I'm happy, and I think he fits very well with Connor Bedard.
I made a prediction earlier when the Hawks camp started that a player who is the biggest surprise for me, but in a way he's kind of not, is Wyatt Kaiser, man. Yeah. He came out of nowhere on a stacked Blackhawks prospect pool of guys looking to make the team, dude, and he made the jump over a lot of popular guys, and I'll tell you what, it was well deserving, because he's been playing really, really good. He's not exactly noticeable in a flashy way, but he is making solid plays on the defensive end. I haven't seen him get burned. He's not making stupid passes, like into the middle of the ice from the corners, like I've seen Connor Murphy do that a few times, and
we got to get into that.
he hasn't made any passes like that. The kid looks really good. Look out for him this year, Wyatt Kaiser. I think he's wearing
very steady.
He got the go ahead from Patrick Pullen. He's wearing 44. So yeah, so he's been playing well. Man, who I'm really surprised about, man, moving on to some NHL news, Austin Matthews has a hat trick in his first 2 games of the season. The Blackhawks will be playing the Maple Leafs in their next game, so we're really going to see how they're doing against them.
Very top heavy. Yeah,
they are a top heavy team, man. But if he's not scoring, they're not winning.
In the playoffs, that's for sure. I credit Matthews for, he's been praising Bedard, saying he fits right in with the top snipers in the league. That's how good his shot is, and that's pretty cool. Usually, when the new rook comes in, everybody's kind of, let's see what this kid's made of. Like, you saw Marchand kind of give him shit going on a line change, like he's holding him, probably whispering.
Right.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, who do you think you are? Really? But it's cool that Matthews is praising the kid. They probably, I'm sure they've talked, and they're with all these prospect or like showcase camps and stuff. And Connor's a very likable kid, very grounded, and I mean, I can't see anyone really saying anything negative about the kid at all. But yeah, Matthews, man, 2 hatties in 2 games. He's on pace for like 1 million goals this year, so we'll see. I think he'll score against the Hawks for sure.
I think they had him like something like 284 goals this year.
You know what? And it's crazy because he's not even like in the lead by a lot. He's tied with Pettersson from Vancouver. He's been on a red hot streak too. I think they're both at 6 goals in 2 games, or maybe 3. But man, it's crazy. Matthews is. I think this year, if they say it feels different there. They got Gritty, they got Bertuzzi, Domi,
Revo,
and Ryan Reeves, and dude, did you see Reeves get jumped by that man they call Wi-Fi on the Hobbs? He actually was in a tussle yesterday with Perry behind the net.
Right.
I don't know how to say the name. I'm not going to butcher it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They call him Wi-Fi. He is a tough freaking kid.
Yeah, he is.
It looks like he could play, man. He was playing defense pretty well, making some good passes, and
he was.
He looked mean, dude. That. He looked like a big dude.
They have him ranked as like the 5 toughest fighter in the league right now.
Yeah, he was really, really outspoken against Reeves. Like, he wanted a piece of him. You know, he wanted him. And, dude, he grabbed him and started swinging, and they kind of shoved into the net a little bit. And Reeves was like, oh, he jumped me. And, you know, so we'll see.
Like,
I'm sure there's going to be a rematch.
He's like, I think Reeves was like, if you want to fight, all you got to do is ask, man. You don't got to jump me.
Give me a shot. Let's go fair, you know? Buckets off, and yeah.
They can't do that anymore, though, can they?
They're not supposed to, but if it flies off, I don't think they're going to stop.
No, I mean, they can't take their buckets off and then go
start
for
the
it.
Fight. Yeah,
they gotta.
There's so many rules now, dude. It's insane.
There is, man. I'm trying to.
You can't go in warm. You can't hit warm-ups without. I think Bedard was fined already. It's like, come on, really, dude.
Krasinski
all
was
the photo attempts you're going to get right now, and all like just let it slide, Bettman. You know, there's some stuff that, you know, just stay out of it. Let the guys play.
Sure, I agree. Lightning Stamkos is out day to day with a lower body injury already. Maybe this is why the Bolts management cautious on the extension, and this is a tough break for Stammer. You know why? Because him and the injury bug loves him, man.
It's a shame because he's such a stud. He's such a good player, and you know what? He kind of ran his mouth a little bit to the media at the first day of training camp, saying they haven't called me yet, and I'm kind of ticked off. And for you to go down early like this, it's like, oh man, I should have kept my mouth closed because it might have hurt my chances a little bit. But I think they'll work something out. And you know, a lot of guys just want to get this stuff over with, so it's not hanging over them during the season. And sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes it takes down to the last day, you know, of getting something going. So hopefully he can get better because I love the guy. He's such a good player.
You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that this guy has had so many problems with injuries over his career, and especially now, you know, since he's looking for a new contract. And I believe the Tampa Bay, they told him that, you know, we're looking to see how the team does this year and how they compete, because they're not sure how they're going to look competing for a Stanley Cup, or whether they're going to tear it down or not.
Well, yeah, it's going to look a lot different this year. I mean, Vasilevsky's out probably for the season. You know, maybe he'll come back for the playoffs. I still think they're a playoff team, but yeah, they're investing a lot of money in their top guys, and now it's going to be real hard to fill in the depth players. This is what the Maple Leafs are going through right now.
Well, they had to pay.
Yeah, you got to pay them after. Of course, that's the thing. You win these championships, you're going to get paid. And, you know, they invested in Hagel, Point, Sergachev, Hedman, Vasilevsky, and it's like, man, Stamkos might be the odd man out. And, you know, they've already moved on from, Yanni Gourde. Obviously, he went over to Seattle in the expansion draft. We got Tyler Johnson. I think that somebody got Kilhorn, who's a very key, was a huge key player for them. I think he went to the Ducks. And then
he was.
There's another guy, I forgot his name. He went to New Jersey. I forget his name. Palat, maybe? But that was another important role guy. And I mean, the team, it's going to look different this year. I don't think they're going to be Stanley Cup contenders, but I still think they'll squeak in the playoffs.
Without Vasilevsky, man, I don't see them really doing any damage.
It's going to be very hard. Hopefully their offense can carry them like the Leafs.
That's crazy.
The Leafs offense will carry them. That's just going to happen. But as for the goaltending, hey, throwing this out there right now. If Mrazek keeps playing the way he's playing, he might end up back on that team. Because if he can keep it going, the Leafs might want to invest into another goalie. Because right now they got that Samsonov and I forget who else they got, but this kid he's from the Capitals they got him from, and they had Matt Murray, and they let Matt Murray go. But I just don't know. I don't think this kid's the answer in net.
Yeah. Jack Hughes had two big games. He had 2 goals in the first opening night against Detroit and 3 assists against Arizona. Looking like he's looking to, continue on what he was doing last year, which was, he had 99 points on the year, and they're going to need him to do that.
Yeah, they're a very they're going to be a very underrated team, man. I mean, coming in, they're scary. I mean, I think they put an exclamation point on what kind of team they are when they got Timo Meier at the deadline, and then they beat the Rangers. The Rangers were hyped to do a lot last year, and
gosh,
their guys just Panarin just not a playoff guy. I don't know what it is, but he's got to get over that hump, and hopefully that shaved head will help.
Yeah, I mean they've got they've got these guys that they're just hanging on to, like Lafreniere. And
it's weird. I see a lot of hate from him, and then I see a lot of praise. I don't know what the Ranger fans want. Like, I see a lot saying, "Yeah, we need to move this guy while he's still pretty decent," or "No way in hell we get rid of this guy." It's just I just don't understand it. Same with Kakko. They're both the same. They really like Kakko, and some days they want him gone. I don't know. Yeah.
I know that I think Kakko right now is playing top line minutes, so they're looking to get that kid going. But as a number one draft pick, man, you don't want. I think Lafreniere's on the second line as of right now, but he's really a third liner, man.
Yeah, that's what Kaner said. He's really surprised these high picks that they've been getting over the years are real gritty. They're not really usually they skill guys. They're big time scorers, but they could play pretty gritty and good defense, two-way hockey. That's a good thing. But you need in the end you need your top dogs to score. You need Kreider to score a lot. You need Panarin, Zibanejad, and all those guys. And you can't rely on your goalie to do it all. And I think it just reminds me of Brodeur. I feel like they're gonna work this guy 40 starts, maybe 50. Brodeur used to play 70, I think, even. That's how crazy. It must have sucked to be a backup for Brodeur. You get no games, but this kid, I think they overworked this kid, and Shesterkin's a very good goalie. I don't think he's the best. I think he's up there, top 5 for sure, maybe top 3 even, but if they overwork him by the playoffs, he's dead. I mean, they're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, I agree. Hurricanes are doing well, man. They look strong.
2-0. Yep, playing right now.
You want to know if they have the best defense in the NHL. Here are their 3 defensive pairings: Jacob Slavin and Brett Burns, Brady. How do you say his name?
Brady
Shea, and Brett Pesky.
Yep.
And Dmitry Orlov and Tony DeAngelo. Tony DeAngelo is very, how do you say, a controversial figure, man.
Yeah, they. I remember 2 years ago they had him, and he was lighting it up. And then they moved him to Philly, and I don't know why they moved him. It might have been a cap thing, but they got him back.
No, it was some off-ice stuff.
Well, they really like him in Carolina. He fits in very well with that team. The X factor is Slavin. This kid is a very solid defenseman, very solid. And Brent Burns is a weapon. This is his 20th year, I think, in the league. I think I heard today.
Oh wow!
And dude, he's still a great player.
The
beard is gorgeous, stud. The dude can score from the point. He's big. He'll hit. And I thought last year he was really good in the playoffs for them. Really clutch. And I know he's been in the final one season with the.
He's the only one.
Yeah, I mean if this has got to be the year. And you know what? I was listening to the Ducks announcers, who I'm not really crazy about. They're very biased. They're homers. They were praising Aho, saying that this guy is a superstar in this league and he deserves the recognition. And they were going over his stats, saying he's a 30-goal guy almost every season. And you know what? I mean, I think on that team, yeah, he's the superstar. In the league, I don't know if he's, what do you think? Top 15? Top 20?
Top 20.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's, I think there's a class of elite guys, like obviously Matthews and McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, Cale Makar, guys like that. I think there's a big drop off after.
Yeah, I think he's in tier 2, but there's a very big drop off from that first tier.
But I think, I mean, I know the Canes fans are real passionate. The ones we talk to, really cool people, really.
Oh yeah,
really good guys and a couple good chicks. They're really cool, and they're always saying Aho doesn't get enough recognition, and he doesn't get enough hype. And yeah, I kind of agree with them. But I know on this team, he's absolutely the stud.
Right.
He's the guy. But, yeah, I mean...
In the league, he's not, though.
I don't know if he's... Like you said, he's like a tier 2 kind of superstar.
The Kings are good, but they're like
good.
They're just a bunch of average dudes who play very well together.
Yeah, I mean, Teuvo Teravainen fits in well with Aho. They got the little Finn connection going on, and
sure.
Jordan Stahl's been around for a long time. He's a good captain. I think he's like a third line center over there. The goaltending, it hasn't worked yet in the playoffs.
Right.
Rant as a Stanley Cup champ with the Hawks is a backup, but he's a good goalie. He's been around. Anderson is a really good goalie, but the dude gets hurt at the wrong times. So
yeah,
they did sign Michael Bunting from Toronto. This guy he just annoys me, dude. He's always getting hit and causing trouble, but he could score goals, and I think he's playing with Aho right now in the first line, and then they got that. Didn't they steal Cotton Niemi? Remember him?
Yeah.
They got him
about 2 years ago.
Yeah, they made like a big offer sheet thing. And
yeah.
Montreal's like, yeah, go ahead, take him. We're not paying that guy that. Yeah. But yeah, they do. Their bottom six is very solid, I think. They got a good checking line with Stahl and Jesper Fast and Martinuk, I think. They got Brandon Lemieux, who's kind of I think he's related to Claude. I think it might be his son. The dude's probably a maniac, fourth line banger type of guy. But yeah, they do have a very solid team. I think their defense is probably the best in the league. And you know what? Having Rod Brind'Amour behind the bench leading the ship, man, I think this team, this has got to be the year they got to get there. They got to get to the final.
Yeah, I don't see this team going past the second round. I see them absolutely destroying someone in the first round, but then they're going to run into, like another Florida in that second round.
Did they play Florida last year in the first round? I think they did.
Remember, I thought that they might have played them in the second round.
Well,
Let me look it up.
Yeah, Florida played Boston, knocked out the champs, and
right.
I think they did. I think Florida did face the Hurricanes because the Bolts and maybe no, maybe who did the Leafs play then?
The Leafs beat Tampa in the first round.
So I don't remember this, dude. This is crazy. Yeah,
I know.
Florida wrecked everybody they played. Up until the Knights.
Let me look it up. Hold on. NHL.
Yeah, I mean that was such a surprise, but I think that New Jersey faced it could have been Jersey, dude. I think Jersey knocked the Rangers out.
See here. Look at okay, so Boston played Florida, they lost. Tampa played Toronto, and Toronto won. Carolina played the Islanders and won.
Yeah. And
then New Jersey played the Rangers, New Jersey won. Seattle played Colorado, Seattle won. Dallas played Minnesota, Dallas won. Vegas played Winnipeg. Edmonton played LA. And then in the second round, it was Florida and Toronto. Florida won 4-1. And Carolina played New Jersey. And they won 4-1. No, Carolina won 4-1. Seattle. Yeah, Seattle played Dallas. And Dallas won 4-3, and Vegas beat Edmonton 4-2. Now in the Eastern Conference Finals, it was Florida and Carolina, and Florida swept them.
See, that's insane to me. Florida was just wrecking everybody.
They did, dude. They
thought Jersey for some reason beat the Canes, and I apologize because I got to give more respect to the Canes because that team.
No, they got wrecked. In Jack Hughes' words, they got wrecked.
Yeah, jeez. Well, I think they got
such
better.
An arrogant
man.
Little fuck, you know.
You know what? At first, I think I remember doing this podcast by myself, and I think you were sick with COVID or something, and I just remember. Well, what am I going to talk about this week? And I look at the headlines. Jack Hughes signs 8-year, $8 million deal. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me.
I know,
and
man.
I'm looking at his stats for 3 years. I'm like, oh,
dude.
my God. And I said,
they were bad.
What? I said, good for Jack Hughes for getting that money. New Jersey's taking a huge risk here. Hopefully it pays off. And my God, he made me look like a freaking retard. He absolutely is just wrecking. He 99 points last year, right?
99 points, 40 goals.
40 goals. I mean, this guy, he's on a mission, dude. I think
he had 44. Let me double check.
Dude, he got 40. I think Timo Meier got 40. They're going to be a good team. And no, what's weird to me, like the goaltending, they got this kid Schmid, I think, and he kind of came out of nowhere, and he's been good too.
Akira Schmid.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hearing like rumors about Connor Hellebuck. Like, is Connor Hellebuck going to Jersey? And he ended up signing that, I think, 7-year deal with the Jets to stay there. And it's like, okay, I guess they're happy with the goaltending in Jersey, or maybe he didn't want to leave in the first place. But yeah, I think if Jersey gets a goalie that's solid, and Schmid could be the guy, they're going to make noise. It could be a rematch of the Canes versus Devils in the Eastern Conference Finals again. I just don't think Florida's going to be able to do that again.
Yeah. Yeah, Hughes went from 21 points in his first season, 31 points in his second season. I think he got that $8 million deal. And then he got 56 points in his third season, and then 99 points last season. Shoot. And 43 goals, 56 assists, 99 points. He was a plus 10.
He's running away with that draft. Like, he is just making Kako and Doc look just like busts, huge busts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another big drop off in drafts. I think Mo Seider was in that draft too, wasn't he?
I think he was drafted 10th.
Yeah, late. And Yzerman, he was projected to go like 25, and Yzerman grabbed him early.
He was.
Yeah, there's another team trying to make some noise too this year. They got DeBrincat. He's been scoring some goals. Good to hear. I'm a big DeBrincat fan. I'm going to root for him no matter where he's at.
So here is that 2019 entry draft. Jack Hughes, number 1. Bo Byram went number 2. Kirby Dach, number 3. Alex Turcotte, number 4. Dylan Cousins, number 5. Trevor Zegras, number 6. Arthur Kaliev, number 7. Cole Caulfield, number 8.
Deal.
Matthew Boldy, number 9. And Peyton Krebs, number 10.
Yeah.
Which is pretty. So that's pretty incredible.
That's what do you think? 6 players are NHL guys?
Yeah.
The other guys, I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Spencer Knight was the top
goalie from Dale Talon. Yeah, Dale Talon's goalie pick. There's another guy that's kind of curious about it. I wonder what's going to happen with him.
Yeah, I mean, he looked really, really great for a while. Then he had some issues, some mental health issues. Yeah. Hopefully he got that worked out, because from what I've seen with him, man, he's been really solid.
Very good in the playoffs. He saved that team from getting embarrassed the one year, because Bobrovsky was not playing well. Couldn't find his game. I'd love to see him. I love to see a Hawk sweater on that guy. Spencer Knight's a good goalie. You know.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a second here. Those were the top ranked prospects. I'm sorry. So the order of the draft was Jack Hughes, number 1, Kaapo Kakko, number 2, Kirby Dach, number 3, Bo Byram, number 4, Alex Turcotte, number 5, Mo Seider went number 6, Dylan Cousins, number 7, Philip Broberg, number 8, Trevor Zegras went 9th, and Vasily Podkolzin, number 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, man. Spencer Knight went 13th. Cole Caulfield went 15th.
Wow. Man,
what a steal, man.
I think, oh, man, yeah. Obviously, Hughes is the best. And then you might have to rank.
Dude. Oh, wait, Ryan Suzuki with the Carolina Hurricanes.
I think that's his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other Suzuki came from Vegas, though. He was moved with the Max Pacioretty trade.
Okay.
Which is
Jack Hughes.
Very weird from Vegas. They trading all these good prospects away, and this kid's a captain there now in Montreal, and I think they traded some good players over to Buffalo too, and they're having good seasons, good careers, like Alex Tuck and Peyton Cribbs. I think is over there. I want to say.
Okay. Well, cool, man. All right, everybody. That's all that we got for you for this week. Catch us next week as we break down more Blackhawks hockey from what they play. Obviously, they're playing the Maple Leafs this week. We're going to have a lot to talk about. And we'll catch you on the next one. This is the Tomahawk, and we're out of here.